and welcome back to another episode of Cozy Corner with Courtney. I'm your host, Courtney. I knit, and I've got a lot of exciting things to share with you today, so let's get right on into it. First up, baking doodle cowl. Now, if you saw video 6, I should mention this is video 7, so if you saw video 6, last week's video, you probably saw me show my baking doodle cowl, but I stopped myself from really talking about it. But I can do that today because the pattern was released. So you guys, here it is. Here it is. Oh my goodness, I love it so much. I love it so much. Now, I may have had it right next to me, like conveniently, because it was drying from having accidentally fallen, like just a little corner of it accidentally fell into my cat's water bowl this morning. I looked at my significant other and I was like, it's fine, right? Like, I don't need to wash this. And he was like, yeah, it's fine. I was like, okay, good. So yeah, because I don't know about you, but like for me, sometimes I like get all like, should I wash this or should, like, yeah. It's like I have to organize in my mind when I have to wash something, and you know, it's just like a part of life. So there you go. Corner fell in a cat bowl. We're all good. I will tell you one thing though, like before I get into the details of the pattern, I've heard people talk about like the squish of yarn, and I hadn't really realized it before, like, but this is like lovely, especially along the top. It's like I definitely noticed when I'd be working with DK yarn over fingering weight that DK just feels like very plumpy. So I mean, I guess I'd noticed it before, but like when I had to squeeze a little bit of water with like a paper towel out of the corner of this cowl this morning, I was like, oh, like that's the squish, like that's nice. Okay, so I'm gonna try it on for you real quick. If you are into Instagram, you can check out my Instagram reels. I made like a whole funny story about the best way of styling your cowl. So here, let me show you the best way first. Ta-da! All right, but if we're going out around the town, I think we probably want to wear it like this. And for me, I love it. Like I've heard people say, oh, it's so hard to style a cowl, but I think it's kind of, I think this is how it goes. I think it's just nice and easy. I got a compliment at Starbucks. This girl was like, oh, I love your cowl. I was like, thank you. Like, thank you for noticing. Oh my goodness. We should be friends. Like, but anyways, yeah, so this is like, and I mean, I guess you can like go like that, but you know, like it's nice and cozy. It stays close around you. All right. And I'll take it off so that I can show you the details. Okay, so since the pattern was released on Friday, I wanted to say Saturday, but that's another thing that I'll get into coming up. Since the pattern was released on Friday, you can go over to Pacific Knit Co.'s website, which I will leave a link to down below, and you can get the pattern from Jamie. She also has them available on Ravelry. I will say that like I think there might be a discount code on the website if it's your first pattern from her, so check that out. And if you look up Jamie's Instagram profile, Pacific Knit Co., just like the @Pacific Knit Co., she has a code Cupcake24. But yeah, also look up her Instagram profile too for the pattern, like a discount on Ravelry, and I think on her website as well. So do check that out as soon as you are done hearing all the details that we're about to share. Okay, so basically, if you're unfamiliar with Jamie's designs, they're so cool. This specific pattern comes with like 27 different colorwork motifs that you get to like mix and match and pick out the ones that you're gonna use. People do like things where they only use one, like this one girl, Franca Knits on Instagram. This woman, I should say, not a girl, sorry. She did something so creative with hers. You're gonna have to check it out. She basically used this mixing bowl motif, and like she did like mixing bowls, like one facing up and then one facing down, and like up and down on like a section of her cowl, and then she did the rest in like a really solid and like really beautiful red color, and her mixing bowls were silver. It looked so nice. Okay. So the details on mine. Now, if you've seen either my last video or the reel that I made about how I found out I was knitting incorrectly, I did find out that for like 3 years I was knitting with twisted knit stitches. So that's gonna be like this part down, and then like probably like, yeah. So this, yeah. For this project, because I found out I was twisting my stitches, I was like, all right, I'm gonna start knitting correctly. But I didn't frog the work that I had already done. I mean, why? Because I have whole projects with twisted stitches. So I was just like, we'll just see how this turns out. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest the correct way. And I did. All right. But before we get into how I feel about this cowl, like, so that I'm sharing with you, like, because when I show you these motifs, like, you might be able to see that the stitches are twisted a little bit or not, okay? You know, and power to you if you can't really tell, but like me, like, I kind of can. And I felt like something was wrong when I was working on this project. So even though it was like, yeah, so I'm glad that someone did reach out and was like, hey, like, but anyways, here we are. So here at the bottom, I used 80s Rewind. It's a colorway from Emma's yarn. Also up to this point is before I had gotten my yarn stash back from my storage unit. So you'll see, like, I ordered the Vintage Valentine DK weight mini set from Daisy Stitch Company, who I think is taking a break right now. She was having a very huge sale at the time. I got it at a deeply discounted rate, so thank you. Thank you to her for sure. And I can't remember the dyer's name, unfortunately. I think it might be Amanda. Oh, I just want to say thank you. Sorry if I'm getting that so wrong. I probably am. I apologize. Anyways, so this is like these hearts at the bottom. These are the piping icing hearts. And the way that I described it to my significant other was like, they're the hearts that you make like at the bottom of a cake. Like when you take the piping bag and you go like, and you squeeze it and you make the hearts, okay? So I thought that was so cute. In the pattern, there's 2 options for these, and I did the large option on the bottom. It was a more difficult one for me to follow for some reason. So we'll get into, I was thinking I might do smaller piping hearts at the top. Thankfully, I did something a little more simple, which was like a little refreshing for me. And I'll get into how like my colors kind of brought me joy, especially at the end. Here, so this silver and this pink are also from the Vintage Valentine's mini set. And while I would recommend Daisy Stitch Co., I maybe wouldn't recommend like just using that set for color work specifically, because the set wasn't really made for color work. It was made to have like this gorgeous set of Valentine colors that kind of go together, and they totally do. It's just like when I have this gray, I feel like you can't even see like what this motif is in the screen, and it's because like there's properties of this gray and this pink that are like so similar. And I kind of thought like, you know, that there would be a little more contrast. I've heard that what you can do is take a picture of the colors with your phone and put it on black and white to see how much contrast is there. And I think I think that might be a good thing to do next time. Yeah, and even in these mixing bowls, I love this red. It's a beautiful red, and I think it really shines here at the bottom. I kind of love it with like the 80s rewind, even though it concerns me that my color work choice wasn't really vibrant or like popping enough. Yeah, so there you go. So basically my motifs so far are piping hearts, spatula, mixing bowls. And again, love the vintage Valentine's minis from Daisy Stitch Co. I would recommend against using a coordinating minis pack of any kind, really, for color work. Like for color work, one thing I saw from the other testers, for color work, you really want to use like vibrant, bright, popping colors, or like at least I do. I want to use like very high contrast colors so that it shows up. And like before I'd be like, oh yeah, you know, I can use a variegated yarn and you can in color work, but like I want this. I worked hard on these piping hearts, and I feel like it's hard work that I can't really see. So, you know, next time, I know, vibrant popping colors. All right, that said, I think I, definitely incorporated the things I learned in the top section, and it was definitely like a opportunity for growth, it was like, and also from here up, I had access to my stash again. So this purple is from the Vintage Valentine's collection, and so is this gray. And actually there's a good contrast between the purple and gray. Like I feel like that was a good one at least. And also even between the purple and pink from the Vintage Valentine's set from Daisy Stitch Co. Like I feel like this is a good contrast moment, okay? It's just the rest of my color choices I feel like didn't have very good contrast. And also because they're all minis, like I couldn't make a whole cowl with just a purple background or just a purple in the foreground. Like I used up all my purple to make this. So something to keep in mind, that perhaps we want to have like a single skein that's like black or like just deeply colored if we're going to be working with all these like muted fantastics. At the top part here, this yellow is from my Pineapple Yarn Company 2022 Advent Pineapple Coast calendar. And it's one of the scraps that I found after I like kind of thought that I had used up all of my yarn from that calendar. So that was in my stash in my storage unit. I'm really glad that I found it. I think that this lighter purple contrasting color from the Daisy Stitch Co. Vintage Valentine's box pops really nicely against the yellow, and I think it just works. I think it's amazing. So I will say like from here up, it's still all Daisy Stitch Co. Vintage Valentine. It's just that the colors that, especially with this purple, the colors have a little bit of a better contrast. And where I didn't use that purple, I used a lighter purple, but from my own stash, I had a vibrant yellow that was a little more deeply contrasting. So yeah, the motif that I used here in the light purple Vintage Valentine from Daisy Stitch is, okay, so the motif that I used here with the vibrant yellow background and the light purple from the Vintage Valentine set from Daisy Stitch Company, this is also an icing pattern, and it's just like where you take the piping bag and you go like this and that's at the very top, and I love it. So again, my motifs are piping hearts, spatula, although it's a little difficult to see with my color choice, mixing bowls, oven mitts, and just like icing, piping icing loops. The camera isn't really focusing, so I'm sorry. Again, another reason why contrasting yarn is great. And on this ribbing part, I just did like the very bottom of the rib in my in the main color for this section, and then I did like the middle and in the pink from Vintage Valentine. Oh, and I think these colorways all have names too. I think the pink was like plush, and I think the purple is Karma. The light purple is lilac. The silver, can't remember. Sorry, I know one of them is called Antique. Yeah, okay. Anyways, the top here is just like the last 2 rows of the ribbing section, and then the bind off. Okay, so that's my baking doodle cowl. I mentioned all the details earlier. You can grab the pattern from Jamie at Pacific Knit Co. Definitely check her out on Instagram. I think she has a coupon code for the pattern either on Ravelry or her website. I'll drop her website down below. And now I'm gonna play a little vlog that I recorded on Saturday. Hey guys, it's 7:22 a.m. on March the 9th. It's a Saturday, and I got up early with our cat. Hey, Blackie, he's chilling now. He was crying earlier for his second food, but we've been trying not to feed him so early in the morning because he's basically become nocturnal. So yeah. I know, and I feel like the answer for that is to keep him awake more during the day, but he just looks, yeah, I mean, I'll say this and you'll be like, no, that's not an excuse, but he just looks so peaceful during the day when he rests, and I don't want to wake him because he just looks so adorable. There he is. Say hey, Mr. Sir. Say hey. Aw, call him Mr. Sir. All right. And here I am. I'm working on my Dragon Rider's cowl by Tanis Knits. This was the one that in my Instagram stories, I had people vote on for the March make-along that we're I guess still doing, although it's just me. People said that they wanted to make, you know, that like given the options, they would rather make projects with a dragon theme. So I reached out to Tanis Knits. She was super kind to the pattern designer of the Dragon Rider's cowl, and she so kindly gave us a discount code for that cowl. Now, no one else joined me in my make-along. Okay, I thought there might be like a little more interest than that, but that's fine. I'm happy to do it by myself, although it would be so much more fun if there were other people to join me. So, you know, maybe next April there will be some more interest in that. As for me, I went ahead and used the discount code. I told her it would probably be like a smaller group. I just wasn't expecting it to be only me, but it's fine. And I am going to make the Dragon Rider's cowl. So if you are interested still in making the Dragon Rider's cowl this month, March 2024, or, you know, even if it's like a little bit after, just reach out to me and I can hook you up with that discount code. And then that'd be super cool because we could still make it together even without having like the whole sign up thing. So yeah, let's definitely do that. All right, and I'm gonna show you a picture of what I've been making. I do have more progress on the Dragon Rider's cowl to show you, but first, since Saturday the Courageous hat by Tressa Wiedenaar was released, I want to go ahead and show that to you first. I finished this project actually on Thursday, so the day before the Baking Doodle release, and then the Courageous hat, this guy was released. I feel like the design is just so precious, like the hat itself is just so precious, but there's also some meaning behind these motifs. It's the, and again, you can't see it too well on my screen. I apologize, on my camera. It's just so precious. Tressa Wiedener designed this hat using the book Crazy Brave by Joy Harjo as her inspiration. So if you can see in my screen, there's up arrows and down arrows. And the up arrows represent the ups of life, like the good points, the high points, and the arrows pointing down represent like the sad moments of our lives. And, you know, the struggles that we face. So there you go. I saw that another tester wrote that together they create the whole of our lives, like the two symbols create like the whole of the tapestry of our existence. So there you go. Yay. This is gonna be gifted to Amber. So there's an Amber that I follow on Instagram. Sorry Ambi Marie Knits, if you're watching this, it's not you. It's apologize. I really like Amber though. You can check out her channel. It's Ambi Marie Knits. She has a podcast, she has Instagram, really cool lady. And now I'm going to show you my Dragon Rider's cowl, the progress that I've made so far on that. But don't worry, I'll drop Tressa's Instagram and her Ravelry info down below. I believe she also has a discount code for the hat, and I believe it's running only through Monday, so only through today. So if you're watching this video the day it comes out, power to you. Head over to Tressa's Instagram and grab the discount code for your courageous hat. Okay, now we're going to get into the whip section of our broadcast. So, oh, you weren't supposed to see that. Okay. So first I'll show you the Dragon Rider's cowl because it's the whip that I've been working on more. There we go. This is what I have so far. It's really cool. It has these like Celtic designs on the bottom and then runes up here, and then a garter stitch edging, which is kind of curling right now, but I'm sure that with the blocking it'll work itself out. The cowl is based on a series of books. And I'm gonna butcher the name of it if I try to pronounce it, but if you check out the pattern, all the book information is there. Again, it's by Tanis Gray. It came out in January of this year, so semi-recent. I really like the way it looks. You're gonna see this contrasting color again in a moment. This is one of the mystery minis from Daisy Stitch Co. I ordered it to finish up my next project that I'm going to show you. The main color that I'm using as the background color in these sections is actually like it's a older yarn, like relatively older. I got it from Hobie in November of 2021, so that's kind of a long time ago. It's Mayflower Easy Care Merino in the colorway brown. And I'm really impressed with myself for remembering that. I did look up all that info so I could put it in my Ravelry page as well. So I'll link my Ravelry project info for this down below. The red here is Filcolana Arwetta in colorway red. I think it used to be called Raspberry Pink, but I think they might have changed it to red, or just like changed their color system. Because 226 like sometimes pops up as raspberry pink, but if you're searching for it now, it pops up as red. So there you go. Again, love these. I love this like Celtic kind of motif. I love these like runes going on. The next one we're gonna do is gonna be like an adult dragon with like a youngling dragon, and there's some kind of cool like accents in the backgrounds that Tanis works into her design, so I'm really looking forward to that. Yay, love that one. Okay, next up, I told you were gonna see one of our colorways again, and you are. This one right here, it's our Mystery Mini from Daisy Stitch Co. And the reason I ordered those Mystery Minis was because I needed to add more scraps to this project. And since I was separated from my stash, I didn't have access to them. Now I have plenty of scraps that I have access to, plenty of different yarn colorways that I could add in on my own. But I actually really do love the Mystery Minis from Daisy Stitch Co. that I ordered, and I am enjoying adding them in. So there you go. I might though not feel the pressure now to add like all of every single color into this scrappy boneyard shawl. And the pattern is Boneyard Shawl by Stephen West. What I may do is add like, like one section of color for each mini by Daisy Stitch Co. But I feel like since this section's like maybe a section and a half, and like so is this one also, like I feel like since I don't really pay attention to just the like sections down here, that maybe I shouldn't start doing that up here. So we'll see. What I may do though, since I'm getting into the doodles and getting into colorwork cowls that could really benefit from having some more like minis in different colors, I may just use some of it in my scrappy boneyard shawl and save some of it for some of those other colorwork type of projects. Thank you guys for staying with me. If you made it all through the video, I hope that your week is filled with nothing but the best. Happy Spring Forward Day. That day is today, and may it all be a little bit easier for us to adjust. All right, see you in the next one. Bye.